Hey guys, welcome to class. Today we're going to look at lesson 7.6 in your notes packet. You're going to have to skip over one other lesson, lesson 7.2, to find this one. It says percent applications at the top. So I'll give you just a second to find it. All right, so today we're going to look at three different situations in which we use percents. We're going to look at markups and discounts and tip and tax situations. So we'll look at all three of those, even though we solve them fairly similarly. All right, so we're going to look at three situations today. We're going to look at markup situations, discount situations, and tip and tax situations. So we're going to start with markups. Let's fill in the blanks together here. A retailer buys items from manufacturers at what we call wholesale price. The retailer then sells those items to customers at what's called retail price. The increase from the wholesale price of an item to a retail price is what's called the markup. And the markup is calculated using a percent, so there's where those percents come in, of the wholesale price. Now let me try to explain this to you a little bit better because there might be some words in here that you're not familiar with. Let's say that one of you owned a t-shirt factory. We'll say Johnny owned a t-shirt factory. And at his factory, he made lots and lots of t-shirts. And then let's say that Susie owned a t-shirt store where she sold t-shirts. Now, at Susie's t-shirt store, she does not make t-shirts. She only sells them. So in this situation, Johnny, who makes the t-shirts, would be the manufacturer, and Susie, who sells them, would be what we call the retailer. So Susie would come to Johnny and she would say, I want to buy 1,000 t-shirts. So she has things to sell at her store. And because she's buying so many, Johnny might sell them to her for, let's say, $3 a t-shirt. That's the wholesale price. Now, Susie's going to take those t-shirts to her store and she's not going to sell them for $3. Why? Because she wouldn't make any money. And in fact, she would probably lose money because she has to pay her employees and she has to pay her electric bill and lots of other things. So Susie is going to mark up the price. And instead of selling those t-shirts for $3, she might sell them for $12 at her store so that she makes some money and she can pay all her bills and she actually makes a profit. The difference between what she bought them from Johnny for, which was the wholesale price, to what she sold them for, $12, which is the retail price, is what's called the markup. All right, so let's look at an example of markup. Here this problem says a store buys decorative pillows from a manufacturer for $2 each. The store marks up the price by 400%. What is the retail price? All right, so in this situation, the retail price is going to equal the wholesale price plus the markup. Well, we already know the wholesale price. It's $2. So what we need to figure out is the markup. And the price was marked up by 400%. So we need to do 400% of $2 or times $2. Now, you probably talked about this last week, but in this problem, we don't want to do 400 times 2 because we don't want to multiply by a percent. Instead, we need to change that percent to a decimal, or in other words, get rid of the percent sign. And so to do that, we're either going to divide by 100 or move the decimal point over 2. That's the same thing if you move it to the left. And so this would actually be 4 times 2, which is 8. So $8 is the markup. Now, you've got to be careful. $8 is not the answer to your problem because the answer to your problem asks for the retail price. And so the last step I have to do is add the wholesale price to the markup And so the retail price, in other words, what the store is going to sell the decorative pillows for, is $10. All right, we'll look at more markup problems in just a minute, but we're going to look at all three different situations, and then we'll do examples of all of them. So the next situation that we're going to talk about is discounts. Now, this one I would imagine that you are more familiar with because we've all walked into a store and seen that something has been a certain percent off. So you go into your favorite clothing store and the shirt you want is 30% off or something's 50% off. And we all like this because it means that we're not going to have to pay as much money. That is a discount. A decrease from the original price of the item to the sale price is what's called the discount, and the discount is calculated using a percent of the original price. So, here's the first problem. You buy a backpack that's on sale for 25% off the original price of $20. What is the sale price? Now, again, most of the time we give discounts in percents. And the reason is that a store is rarely going to say everything in the store is $10 off. The reason is if they're selling something for $11, well then $10 off is essentially giving you the item for free. You're going to pay $1. That's a huge discount. And if they had something else in the store that costs $300, well then $10 barely makes a difference at all. And so it's just not a very consistent way to give a discount. Instead, a store will give the discount based on a percent. So everything's 25% off, 30% off, 50% off, because it's a more consistent way. It takes a percent off of each item. So here in this problem, the backpack's 25% off. Now, we're going to solve this very similar to the way that we just did the markup. The difference is here that we actually have to subtract the discount instead of add it because it's getting taken away from the price instead of added on. So in this problem here, we know that the original price is $20 and we need to figure out how much the discount is. So we need to find 25% of $20 or 25% times 20. Now, hopefully in this problem, it makes even more sense to you that we can't do 25 times 20 because we're actually going to get something bigger than the actual cost of the backpack, which wouldn't make sense. We need to instead change this percent to a decimal, which is 0.25. That's what you did last week. And then multiply by 20. So this equals $5. You're welcome to use your calculators if you need to for this. This one, I don't think you need to, but you're welcome to. So now I know that the discount is $5. Now again, you need to be careful. We are not saying that the backpack costs $5 now. We're just saying that $5 is the amount of money you are saving from the cost of the backpack. And so your final step is you have to take the original price and subtract the discount to get that the sale price is $15. All right, now the last situation we're going to look at is when you pay tip or tax. Now, we pay tax on most items, food and non-food items. You have to pay a state tax on them. But we also will leave a tip for certain items. Now, when you go to a restaurant and a waiter or a waitress serves you, that's the most common situation where you would leave a tip. You don't need to leave a tip if you go to Qdoba or Panera or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or somewhere where you order at the counter. But if you have a waiter or a waitress that serves you, you would leave a tip. You also leave a tip for services like if you get your hair cut or your nails done, or if you have a golf caddy, or if someone valets your car. All of those situations would be times that you leave a tip. Another time you would leave a tip is if somebody delivers something to you. So when the pizza delivery man brings you your pizza, you would leave them the tip. It's just the polite thing to do. Most people tip somewhere between 15 and 20%. So in this problem, it says you order pizza to be delivered. The bill is $18. You give the delivery person a 15% tip. The sales tax is 5%. What's the total cost of the pizza? So to find the total cost of the pizza, we're going to need to add the cost of the pizza, which that's the one thing we do know in this problem. It's $18, plus the sales tax, plus the tip. So we have two steps here. We need to first find the sales tax, which is going to be 5% of $18, or 5% times 18. Again, we can't multiply by a percent. We're going to change that to 0.05 times 18 and multiply that. It is 90 cents. And again, feel free to use your calculators there. Then we're going to find the tip. That's 15% of $18, or 15% times 18. Again, we need to change this to a decimal because we can't multiply by a percent. And that's going to be $2.70. So my final step here now is going to be to add all of these together. I'm going to add 18, the cost of the pizza, plus 90 cents, which is the tax, plus $2.70, which is my tip. And when I add all those up, I get $21.60. Again, feel free to use your calculator to make all that go faster, but just make sure that you still show your work. All right, now we're going to do some problems. And in these word problems, the first thing we need to do is figure out whether this situation is referring to a markup, a discount, or to a tip and tax situation. So, problem number 1, a pair of shorts that originally costs $15 is 40% off. Find the sale price. Well, in order to find the sale price, we need to take the original and subtract the discount. The original is 15. I need to calculate the discount. It is 40% times $15, or that's 0.40 times 15. Again, feel free to use your calculators to figure that out if you need to. It is $6. Now again, $6 is not the cost of those shorts. $6 is how much money you are saving off the cost of the shorts. So your last step is to do 15 minus 6, which is 9. And so your final answer, and you do need to label it, is the sale price equals $9. Do not forget to label it sale price. And also don't forget to use your $sign because that's your label in this problem. All right, let's look at number 2. A street vendor buys bracelets from a manufacturer for $7 each. The vendor marks up the price by 150%. What is the retail price? Well, your key word there should be marks up. We know this is a markup problem. So we can say that the retail price equals the wholesale price plus the markup. Now in this situation, the wholesale price is $7. I need to calculate the markup, so I'm going to do 150% times $7. Again, I can't multiply by a percent, so I'm going to change that to 1.5 by either dividing by 100 or moving that decimal point 2 to the left. And so then I'm doing 1.5 times 7, which is 10.5 or $10.50. Again, $10.50 is not my answer. It is simply the markup. And so my final answer, I have to add the wholesale price 7 plus the markup $10.50 to get $17.50. So my answer is that the retail price is $17.50. All right, why don't you take just a second now and try number 3. It says that the bill for your restaurant meal is $22. You leave a 15% tip. The sales tax is 6%. What is the total cost of your meal? So you're going to need to calculate the tip and the tax. I'll give you just a minute to do that. All right, so go ahead and take a look up at the board at what I got started if you've not already. We know we need to do that the food bill plus the tip plus the tax is going to equal our total. So to find the tip, I'm taking 15% of 22. That's 0.15 times 22, which is $3.30. To find the sales tax, I'm taking 6% of 22, so that's 0.06 times 22, which is $1.32. And so my final step now is to add these all up. 22 plus $3.30 plus $1.32 means that the total equals $26.62. All right, we've got just a couple problems to go here, and you'll notice that these at the end actually have less information about them. There will be some like this in your homework. Basically, it's the same type of problem. They're just not even telling you what it is that you're buying, so you don't have any context for the problem if you're buying a shirt or shorts or decorative pillows, but it's really the same type of problem. It says use the given information to find the new amount. Well, in number 4, they give you the wholesale price and the markup, so it's hopefully fairly easy for you to figure out that this is a markup problem. The retail price is going to equal the wholesale plus the markup. We know that the wholesale is $13. So to find the markup, I need to do 110% times 13. That's going to be 1.10 times 13, which is $14.30. Again, that is not your answer. That is just your markup. So your final answer is 13 plus $14.30 to get that the retail price is $27.30. Okay, the next situation is a discount problem. Why don't you take a second and see if you can figure out the answer? All right, so we took 20% of $60, which is 0.2 times 60, that's 12. Again, 12 is not your answer. 12 is simply the discount. That's the amount of money you are saving. And so therefore we had to do 60 minus 12 to get that the sale price of this item would be $48. Again, don't forget your dollar sign. All right, why don't you now try number 6 and 7? All right, so if you look at number 6, I first found the tip, then I calculated the tax, and so my final step then is to add them all together to find that the total bill is going to be 45 plus 9 plus $2.25. So $56.25 as my total bill. I will tell you that there are some problems on your homework where they actually just give you the original price and the sales tax, and you would solve this the same way, except it's almost easier because you don't need to find the tip. You only have to calculate the tax. All right, hopefully you had a chance to look at number 7. Let's look at this one real quick together. This is another discount problem. So the sale equals the original price minus the discount. Again, the big difference between these is you have to pay attention. If it's a discount, you subtract. If it's a markup or a tip and tax, you add the values. So I need to find here 15% of $75. I'm going to change that to a decimal, 0.15 times 75. Again, on all of these, you are welcome to use your calculator as long as you show your work. This equals $11.25. That's my discount. That is not my answer. My final answer, I need to do 75 minus that amount. And so we can say here that the sale price equals $63.75. All right, so in your homework, there's going to be a combination of all of these different types of problems. Some markup problems, some discount problems, and some tip and tax problems. So make sure you read carefully. Have a good rest of your day.